What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Good Influences.
Welcome back.
Everybody's favorite podcast.
Do you want to try my coffee? Oh. I'm just really curious because he's such a coffee snob.
Where is this from? Oh, it's hot.
Did you brew this at home?
Hot?
Yeah, it stays hot. I drink hot coffee every morning, you guys. I'm a mature woman.
Even in the summer?
Yeah, it just is like coming.
No, I'm a big.
Is this a prank? Is there even coffee?
No,
in this?
it's coffee.
No, there is.
It's coffee with a little bit of coffee mate.
Well, I was gonna say it smells like you poured some chemical.
A little bit of vanilla chemical, yeah.
Oh, you should have let him guess.
I already smelled that this is like. Oh no, I don't think so.
Maybe that's
Come on.
Coffee mate.
Just take a sip.
take a sip.
That's my culture. Don't make fun of it. I've been drinking it since I was like in middle school.
He's just chugging the whole thing like gulp, gulp.
No. It took a little while. I mean, that tastes like melted ice cream. Like,
No, it does
Yummy.
not.
yeah, it does.
So it's like creamy, like she put too much.
Coffee mate is like.
I really don't put that much cream because I don't like it to be overwhelmed.
Coffee mate sounds like the easy bake oven of like
Yeah,
coffees.
It is.
not even-
It's like very. For me, it reminds me of home, like Midwest. Like I don't know why. I know people ever buy it, but like I would drink it when I lived in Omaha, and so when I get it here, I'm like, hee hee.
Yeah, when
smell
did you
it?
start drinking coffee?
I want to say right after college was the first time I had
Harley
coffee.
was like drinking it as a teen.
Yeah, in like middle school.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Is that why you're so small?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you remember that episode
Fully
of like
stunted her growth.
that episode of Seventh Heaven where like the youngest son gets addicted to caffeine and it's like obsessed with coffee?
You need to go pray.
Yeah.
That was me. I think it's because I was at my friend's house. Like I'd go to her house and sleep over a lot, and her mom would make coffee, and she would make it for her daughter, but she would put like a lot of coffee mate and like a little bit of coffee just so she thought she was drinking coffee. So I'd be like, ooh, I love it. So I would start drinking it at home too because it was just always around. And
Was your mom like, God damn it, Gail?
pretty much. She would do the same thing though, I guess. She told me she would like put a little bit of coffee and then like a lot of like milk or something.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, I can't.
Bitch.
That is when I started drinking coffee. I would go to Wawa. I got a black coffee, but then I would literally pour half of it would be like vanilla creamer,
Yeah.
just because I didn't like it. And then over time, I just did less and less and less. And then one time I was like, I'm just going to try black coffee, and I was like, oh, I actually don't need the filler.
What goes
Anything?
down in a Wawa? I feel like there's this massive cult following about Wawa.
Yeah.
I see videos of people, I don't know, drunk college students, like lines out the door to get into, to me, what looks like a gas station.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
So, but is it like a more higher end gas station? Like we're talking about like a Buc-ee's or the coffee situation? Are you serving yourself that coffee
Yes.
or are you going to a
No, you can
barista
order.
inside?
The one I've been to, there was like it was like not a barista, but it was like where you order. And I was like, can I get a cold brew?
Oh,
and then
okay.
a mac and cheese.
And they're like in a pack of
sandwich.
smokes? Like,
Yeah.
Well, the reason why
It's
Wawa,
like-
Two separate counters.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
So Wawa has its like own little section.
The
within
Wa
gas
and the
station.
Yeah, the Wawa 1 and the Wawa 2.
well, now they're like combined Wawa and gas station. Like you can go to a Wawa branded gas station, but like back in the day, it's
Standalone?
it's like on the side of the highway. You pull into a Wawa, and it's usually next to a gas station, so you're getting your gas. But they have sandwiches that are made to order. So you go on a little screen and you like type in what you want, and they make sandwiches.
And they're good.
They taste
Are they
great.
handing the sandwich
Yes.
to
They're
you
like
or you
making
grabbing
them,
and going?
heating them up.
Yeah,
Like they're
it's
not
like
Like a Pret a Manger?
it's not like a Whole Food or
It's
like
not
a
pre-made. It's
yeah.
it's like going to
Subway.
Chipotle, Subway.
Yeah, it's not a Subway.
But it's-
How's
Or it
the
is
customer
Subway.
service? Are they
Great.
like so happy?
They're so nice to
They're
you.
so
I mean,
happy.
I'm talking about gas, like a gas
Yeah.
station environment.
No.
I just don't picture like, what's up? Welcome to Wawa. Like,
No,
we're on the
they're
side
super
of the
nice.
highway here.
They're
Yeah.
super nice at a Wawa. It's
Okay.
not just like, what do you want? It's you type in the sandwich, they make it fresh, they cut the bread, they toast it, they put the cheese on it.
It's also
they
like a
spank it.
staple for like my ex, like he grew up going to Wawa a lot, especially at night when nothing was open. It's like him and his
Yes.
friends would go at like midnight or whatever. So
And they have
it's like in cities. Where
Every snack
people
you could
go.
ever want, all the candy bars,
Yeah,
all
it's
the
like
chips.
Pretty
And Wawa
legit.
still have like snack wraps.
Yes, they have
Which is a slay.
and they have soups and chicken, and then the coffee situations they have like, what do you call them? Like pots where you just put your cup in, fill it up, and it's like 98 cents for a cup of coffee. It's super. It's like 7-Eleven style.
Nice.
Cumberland Farms.
But they have hazelnut, they have Colombian, they have dark roast, they have French vanilla, they have like a bunch of different flavored coffees and just regular coffee too. It's the Wawa.
What's
is
the
best.
mascot?
It's the bird. It's a Wawa is a type of bird that's found in I think South
Joe
Florida
actually
or
just
South
told us
Philly?
how they named it.
Wawa.
Well, maybe he was lying now that I'm really thinking about it and about to say it out loud.
What?
But he said the founders were like at a beach and a seagull went, wah, wah.
No.
Bull.
And they were like, that's the name.
No.
Tell them your mafia one.
I was told as a child, okay, I was a minor in school, and a teacher told me that
victim.
I'm a victim. That the word mafia formed because what she told me was the word fia meant in Italian meant either sister or wife or something like that, and she was getting murdered, and the guy was like mafia, and like I dead ass have thought that was true till yesterday.
Until I was like, Carly, I don't think that's.
That's what a teacher told me, and so it just stuck with me. It's like when your parents tell you something when you're little, and then you grow up and you're like, wait.
Have we looked up the real meaning though of it?
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
derived from another word.
Yeah,
it's like mafioso or something.
Yeah.
You thought it was like a sentence, like mafia.
That's what I was told. It was like
Mafia.
mafia, and I'm like, maybe she just watched a movie and was like, that's
Like
what
my
happened.
poor
A teacher.
Or do you remember like my poor butt itches? Like there was a kid named Butt Itches who went to school, and then one day like
Is this a TV show?
he got this is like a joke like they say in kindergarten
Oh,
in
oh,
first
oh.
grade.
Okay.
And then like I don't know, Butt Itches gets hit by a car, and his mom comes to school, and she's like, "Oh, my poor Butt Itches."
So stupid.
It's so stupid, but I think that's like probably a
I'm
thing.
like, that's how my
Mafia.
cousin got his name.
You
Gets,
should
like,
honestly
passed down.
contact the
The
school district.
Picard Element. Which camera am I looking at?
Yeah,
Picard Elementary. You're going down.
Fire her. How old was she?
In Omaha, Nebraska.
Think she's still working there?
The thing is, I don't remember what teacher. I don't.
Oh.
Maybe I need to go to like the police station and have them all line up,
Yeah.
and I can be like, I think it was her.
Oh yeah.
She ruined my knowledge for the rest of my life.
Did you guys have no soap radio? Do you know about this one?
No.
No soap.
No soap radio.
It sounds so familiar.
It's a hilarious. Hold on, I want to make sure I get the joke right. Give me 1 second to look this up. I didn't prepare this.
the name. Okay, the joke is called No Soap Radio.
Okay, here we go.
Is this offensive, Mike? No. Are we going to get canceled because of this?
Okay. Okay. So an elephant and a hippopotamus are in a bathtub, and the elephant says to the hippo, "Please pass the soap," and the hippo replies, "No soap radio." Do you get it?
No.
Can you say it one more time?
Wait, it's an elephant and a hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Elephant asks the hippopotamus for some soap, and the hippopotamus says, "No soap radio."
Okay, so the joke is not going to work right now because it's not a funny joke. That's the point of the joke. It's like
I hate
you're,
this.
you're supposed to tell the joke to a third person when like all of your friends start
Know the
cracking up and
joke?
laughing, and it's like you try
That's
to
bullying.
It happened to me. Like my friends came up to me and they were like, "No soap radio," and they start pissing their pants laughing, and
That sounds like a podcast title. No soap radio.
and I'm like, I didn't really get it. And then they were just like convincing me, like, you don't get it? You're fucking stupid. Like, it's so funny. No soap radio. And then I had to go on the internet.
Imagine
and
if you like did laugh and pretended like you did understand.
That's a lot of people do that. There's
I
like a
for
TikTok
sure
of
would.
people that I've seen people go up to them on the streets and like, "Hey, no soap radio," and then the person starts laughing. He goes, "Okay, now explain it." And the guy's like,
It's like Jimmy Fallon's like live witness, like or not Jimmy Fallon's. Who's it? Jimmy Kimmel's
Kimmel.
live witness news, where he just goes up to people and like.
I
lies
love
to
those. I
them.
get them on
Well,
TikTok
no, he
all the
gets
time.
them to lie. Too.
Yeah. those are funny.
yeah, it's just, no soap radio. Try it on your friends at home. Anyway,
No, don't do that.
Bully your friends and your parents.
Yeah.
today we're doing
Unwritten rules
which
for
I think
society.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking about this. The idea of unwritten rules is like when you go to like a theme park, there are written rules.
Yeah.
Like you must be
Right.
this
Like
tall
the
to
rules are
ride.
actually written down.
yeah,
I never
don't litter.
Yeah.
Don't run around.
No,
amok.
shower 30 minutes before you go in the pool or whatever. If you have diarrhea, don't go in the pool. Like
Isn't that where?
Isn't it
hey,
like 14 days or something?
if you have diarrhea,
like whole
Yeah.
quarantine.
is it true that in New York City, your public pools, they require you to take a shower, and they have to witness you taking a shower upon entering the public pools
In New York?
in Manhattan?
I've never been in a Manhattan
Sounds like
public
a
pool,
myth.
but I could.
There was a whole This American Life, I think, episode about Manhattan public pools and how, what's the word? I guess ridiculous or strict or like,
Yeah.
because it's so hard to get access just to a proper public pool, and they have to have them.
Well,
in
I read-
Manhattan.
you know, when
and
you-
you have to take a shower,
when you
and
go
they have to watch you
into-
do it.
When you go into an indoor pool and you
I love when you do this.
this.
You're really thinking.
You look
through
like
it.
an evil
When you
mastermind.
go to an indoor pool and you smell that like deep chlorine smell, the I just read this. The more chlorine smell that you have, the dirtier the pool is. The smell is the chlorine interacting with urine and human sweat to clean it, and that's why you get that indoor pool smell.
Bye-bye.
So,
Go in an indoor pool.
yeah, and so
What if it's like an natatorium?
but that's why they tell you to shower
What?
because
A natatorium.
sweat is like what makes pools really dirty too. It's not just pee.
I don't think I've ever showered before I've gotten into a pool.
Oh, me neither. That's insane.
I may have, but like not intentionally.
Yeah.
Like, oops. But
If I know
also
I'm going into a pool, I'm like, I'm not going to get clean before I get dirty.
Let me
I
get the
haven't-
pool disgusting
Yeah.
first.
I don't think I've been like in a public pool or water park level pool in like, well,
Water park we've been to.
6 years. I don't know. I went to the one in Dubai. That was Atlantis. That's like massive. I feel like they
They clean it
take
out.
pride in it.
Not like the pools
Anyway,
here,
so
which is-
written rules are written down.
Okay, yeah,
These
right.
are
And then
rules-
unwritten aren't written down. That's a
I
great
just never,
point.
They are
Mike.
not
I
written
never
down.
conceptualized it. Like if you're gonna walk
Oh.
into a room,
I didn't realize that's where you were going with this.
it's like if we were to walk into like a studio and it says,
No
studio
gum.
rules, no gum, no cell phones. It's like, what are the rules that are not
like
written?
don't blast TikTok while we're recording.
Right. Or like airplane rules. Those are.
Ooh,
there's
that's
lo-
that's actually
I've got
so
It's a lot of
good.
etiquette. It's things that are passed down through a friend of a friend, through your parents, just through common decency.
Yes.
That you need to pick up on the wavelength that these are qualities that you should possess.
I was trying
no
to think
one's
of-
going to give you the menu or the rule book
It's
explaining a
rules
lot
that
of these
I would
things.
want, though. I kind of wish some of these rules were written down.
Yeah.
That's my point. Is like
Yeah.
some of these things should be written down.
I know.
First one, when you're on an airplane, cover your toes. I don't want to see.
Oh, like flip-flops?
I don't want to see
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sandals. I don't want to see you barefoot. I don't want to.
I'll go as far as shorts. Don't wear shorts.
Don't wear shorts.
I'm huge anti-shorts on airplanes. I don't understand.
No.
You're
It's
going
cold.
bare.
It's freezing.
You're showing these bare
Yeah.
legs, and you're gonna go sit on seats that multiple people sit
Yeah.
on throughout the day. Even though, yeah, they're clean, they're sanitized. Just a quick wipe.
Little wet wipe.
Yeah.
But I had a buddy one time about to get on a plane, and it was like before a bachelor party, just like wearing just gym shorts on it. I'm like, oh,
No.
you putting those dogs like? I'm like, I've never done that.
That's
It's also inconsiderate
crazy.
to the other people like next to you. Okay, I just need to. I flew to. Where did we just go? London.
London.
On the flight to London, I had a great seat where it's like right before the bathroom, so there's no seat in
Nice.
front of you. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Guy sits next to me, shorts, sandals. Before takeoff, sandals off, toes up against the seat, up against the back for the entire duration of the flight. I was
monster.
like, I couldn't. I had the entire
Ew!
flight.
Ew.
Here's the other thing. Like, you're going to London. Like, why are you wearing shorts and flip-flops?
I just think it should be a written rule from the waist down.
Yeah.
You have to
Covered.
be fully covered.
Covered.
Even socks and sandals, like there's an odor some people are not aware of
Oh.
that their feet are smelly.
Sometimes
Would-
I do that. I'll wear socks with like a Birkenstock.
I'm
But you'll,
sorry,
you'll
Aaron.
take. Wait,
I don't have smelly
you
feet, so
sock
it's
it?
fine.
Is it okay then to sock it?
To have like your socks out like this.
The thing is, it's like I think if you're in first class, you can take your shoes off
Oh.
and have your socks out. But if you're in economy, I don't think you should be taking your shoes off and have your
no,
socks.
you got to make your
No.
money to take your shoes
The
off.
only time
It's
gotta
weird.
make your money to
This
take
is
your
how
shoes
like I see it, but I'll take my shoes off if I'm in first class. But I do not take my shoes off if I'm in economy.
I only do if I have the row to myself.
Yes.
Or it's like me and TJ and no one is with us.
Yeah, you got to be just considerate of your neighbors
100%.
and but just at least cover the toes. We need at least the sock over the
Yeah.
toes. Bare toes and toes on like the wall that I have to see them for
No,
no, that's
11 hours.
crazy. Where the toes
Oh,
like
There's
No,
a
they-
lot of airplane etiquette rules.
Ugh. Okay,
that's-
that's
that's
my big
illegal.
one. That one should be
It's a
written
no-fly
down.
zone.
Like
Yeah.
you should not be
No-fly
allowed on the plane if I could see when the last time you clipped your toenails
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I
Kicked
don't-
No
off.
dogs.
No dogs.
no
You
with
got to
a,
put
with
them
a
in a
WG.
crate under the seat.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
That's my first one.
Okay, I love the airport. I didn't even think about airport. That's so good.
Ugh.
Airport etiquette?
Yeah.
Oh, the another unwritten rule is like when the plane lands, like
Get up immediately.
No, yeah, which everyone does. Literally, I sit there and I'm like, "Where's everyone going?"
I know. The only valid thing that I like agree with is like if you're sitting so long, you're like, I just want to like get up and stretch my legs.
Right.
Sure, you can stand
But you
up, but
could've
don't like
done
go
that-
in the aisle.
Yeah,
Like,
but you-
people who get up in the row behind you and then go in the aisle, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I've seen a TikTok of someone who like the second the plane landed goes bing and then he gets up really quickly and he hits the button. He goes 3 seconds flat. That's a new record.
Yeah,
That's
hilarious.
pretty funny. But like,
He's
yeah,
trolling.
okay,
yes.
it depends. Like, if you're landing in Vegas, like,
What?
right? Oh, wait, you're saying that guy does that every time? Like,
I know. I don't know
I
where
mean,
he did it. It
sure,
just was a funny
I feel like
idea.
if you landed in Vegas, it's funny. But if you're doing that like in any other location, I
Oh
think
yeah, like
I
if you're
think
going to Japan or something,
It's
you
like
don't.
landing
Yes,
in
like what are you
Indiana,
doing? I
No,
think
no,
There's
I
certain
agree.
locations where I think you could be a little funny on a plane, and then there's other locations where you can't be funny on a plane.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also agree. Just chill out. We're all getting off the plane.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat anybody else.
Yeah, like where are you going?
I agree.
We were sitting in a row one time, and it was TJ, me, and then a woman, and she tried going past us, and we're still sitting
my God.
waiting.
She tried to cut the line.
Yeah, and then TJ
Jail.
got into a fight with her, and we were in France, and I was like, "I'm leaving you."
He got into a fight with her. What they talk
Because
about?
he was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, where do you think you're going?" And like the whole line, her daughter was sitting behind us, so she was like, but she was like in her 20s, like
Okay.
not a child by any means.
That's got to be tough.
Do you ever do the stare, like you're staring at the crazy person, and then you look back at everyone else, like,
Get a load of this
you know,
guy.
get a load of this
Yeah.
person. Don't say anything, but just look for some.
I also think another good thing to do is if like the pilot makes an announcement, say you're landing in Atlanta or a major connection hub, and they're like, people need to get off to go make their connection. Like I will sit as long as I need to make sure those people
Yeah.
get off
Of
and make
course.
their connection.
I have
but I
been
feel
the-
like so many people don't.
I've been the person where they make the announcement. We have a bunch of connections. I know we're running a little bit late. If anyone who doesn't have a connection
Yeah.
could please stay seated. Every single person on the plane stood up, and I missed my flight.
Damn.
Yeah, that's I don't like. Just,
Pay attention, people.
Yeah.
Pay attention on the airplanes.
Yeah.
Any other airplane ones? That's a good one.
I
Or we
I
could-
feel
we-
like
No,
I-
I do not have a airplane one.
I mean, also just keep your fucking shoes on when you go to the bathroom. Like
Oh,
people
ew,
who
ew,
walk
ew,
to
ew,
the
ew,
bathroom
ew.
barefoot is insane.
Ew, 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 ew.
insane.
I've done it a few times.
What?
barefoot.
Not every time. I probably have done it 2 or 3
Socks
times in my
off
life.
on the airplane.
Socks off.
That's what I
he
just
said,
said. Barefoot.
Oh, no.
you
I've
walk
had
with
my
your-
socks on and I've gone
I
to
feel
the
like
bathroom.
I've done that with my socks too.
But it's been like
Ugh.
a first class. It's like first class flight international. I'm not going to
Doesn't-
be doing it domestically.
First of all, if you're in
I've
first
been
class,
on the,
yeah, they
I've been
give you
on
the
the plane for
slippers.
like 14 hours, and then I'm like, I'm right there. I'll
They
just
give you
walk
slippers.
to it,
What
and
if
I'll
the-
do it in the middle of the night. No one's going to see me. I'm in
It's
the
not
dark.
about anyone seeing
You're
you. It's
gonna
about
know.
stepping on pee in the bathroom
Yeah.
floor, and then your socks have random pee on them.
I did it.
he survived.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Maybe-
but I
Doesn't
mean,
make it better.
I've done it. I've flown hundreds of times in my life. I've probably done it 3 times. I'm just being honest
Doesn't
and
make it
coming
right.
clean. We all make mistakes here, okay? And I am so sorry for the 3 times that I did it. I'm
Not
gonna
okay.
beat myself
It's
up
not,
over
it's,
this.
It's not okay.
It's just I thought
I've done it
was-
before, and I
You're
like.
actually this stressed about it.
No, I'm not.
I've done that before, and I like. I feel like it was before I cared
New.
about like hygiene,
Hi, Jen.
like hygiene.
Hi, Jen.
Hygiene. Before, I mean, I knew hygiene. I would shower, and it was like my early 20s, but I
would
wasn't
shower
like.
sometimes.
I'm just trying to explain what I mean by this. Like, I'd probably like put my purse on my bed at that time. You know what I mean?
course.
Like that kind of thing that you're not aware of.
There's all a turning point in everyone's
Yes.
life where they're like, this is probably not good to be doing.
The thing is, like, I would never ever ever wear socks because my feet don't smell. So when I'd go to the airport, I would forget, and I'd have to take my shoes off to go through TSA and be barefoot. So
I-
an unwritten rule is always wear socks. So even if you're wearing sandals, wear socks because that TSA thing, unless you have TSA pre-check.
which you should have at this point.
I just realized though, this has been past 5 years where I've gotten, now I can't unsee it. Realizing though how dirty your suitcase is and not to put it on
your
top
bed.
of the bed,
Oh,
like in the
yeah.
hotel. That's what the little,
Anywhere.
what the little tray's
Yes.
for to put it.
I just learned
was
that too,
always,
the tray.
like my single life, I would just go to a hotel room, put the suitcase on, unpack, and then
No, the
zip it
outside
up.
of your suitcase.
Yeah, is
the
the
most
most disgusting thing. I
And,
never
like,
thought
bed
about
bugs.
it.
And I
never
hate
thought.
putting like when you go to like a concert or something, you have to put your phone and keys and wallet in those like little
Like zip
Tray.
those like little dog bowls.
Yeah.
I usually just don't even put them in there because every it's like touching a dirty toilet seat. Like everybody's hands and all their shit is getting
But
in
do
there.
you feel that way when you go through TSA?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just like carry sanitizer with me.
I do too. I have the spray.
Do you ever like when the trays aren't getting stacked, you like go pick
Kinda
up the
help 'em
trays
a
to
little
stack
bit?
them?
I
Which I'm like,
sometimes-
this is so disgusting, but nobody is helping.
It depends.
So I have to
I've done it
help
before.
and do it.
I've done it before.
like do you leave the tray or you put yours back? But if there's 3 trays there, do you walk away? Or do you?
I'm
pick up
responsible for myself.
I think
at
I
the
put my
airport.
own tray away.
Me
Yeah.
Yeah, just be responsible for yourself.
Or I'll like start stacking them. I don't know. I black out doing that stuff.
A lot of the times I feel like now at airports too, they just have an attendant there.
Yeah.
They should, yeah.
And they're
And
always
some
yelling.
days they yell at you. Sometimes you're like, don't touch it.
I know. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm
And
sorry. I'm
okay,
trying to
yes.
help.
What, do I do it? Do I not do it?
Unwritten rule. We don't know.
Yeah.
Or when it-
TSA is
on-
the most confusing place on earth.
Right.
Okay, we can move on.
Well, I have one. I don't know if it's
I
like.
have some. Oh wait.
Oh,
Go ahead, Carly.
Well, wait. We've done. Okay. Never mind.
Is it my turn?
Oh, yeah.
I personally feel if you're in traffic and somebody so graciously lets you in, you should
Oh, I think
wave and thank. No one does it here. I swear to God, nobody does it here.
A little wave.
I do it.
Nobody does it
Courtesy
here.
wave, mandatory.
You know what they do
Mandatory.
in Japan? Is that your emergency lights? If someone like lets you in as a way of saying thank you, you just click your emergency lights once.
That is
As
so
like,
cute.
Oh, that's
so
pretty
so
cute.
it's kind of cute. Like your little yellow
I
lights
love
go.
how they do
"Boop,
everything
thank
there."
you, thank you. It's just a way of saying.
Yeah,
thanks.
because the wave could be a little dangerous because you gotta like, oh, and then you crash the car because you're just like trying to look and get
I
the
just
wave.
do it because my hands are on the wheel. I just am like this.
Me too. I do it in the
just-
mirror.
I want to see the
I
wave.
do it with everything. If someone lets me go, if I'm doing like a 3-point turn and someone
Oh,
waits for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or if you're
especially
making
stuff
a
like
mistake,
that.
you go,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Totally.
Especially
Yeah.
in LA, if someone lets you do something like that, it's like, thank God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes I'll even put my hand out the window.
Oh, you gotta let them know. I think that's an East Coast thing too.
With
Yeah.
Tesla drivers,
Midwest,
are you
too.
guys like nicer to other Tesla drivers?
No, Tesla drivers
They're
are
the
honestly
worst.
the worst. They're
Yeah.
just
Except for us, we're perfect.
yeah.
well.
I,
you feel
I
like-
scratch
3
everything, but
exceptions.
Do you feel like with your Defender, other Defender drivers have been like?
Oh, I always wave to them.
Me
Remember that one
too.
time we were in the car? It was like the first day I had it, and we were stopped at a 4-way intersection, and there was one to our left. It was when we were on our way to the old podcast studio, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And like the 3 of us were like waving to the lady, and she probably thought that I was funny.
she did not wave back. She didn't get it.
No,
she was like,
old
that must be a
school
new
Defender.
defender.
Yeah, but no, I don't really feel that way. Aside from that, because I do think everyone I see, I'm like intimidated by.
Who drives a Defender?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're in one, and they're usually like really like tough kind of people, like I'm not going to let you in. But if you have the same car as them, they'll be like,
I feel like I don't ever notice that.
oh,
I
I'm
always
always
let-
thinking of car politics.
I try to.
Honda?
I try to
No.
let everybody in all the time. I'm trying to
Oh.
just build
Yeah.
up good car karma because I don't want to be the guy trying to make that left for 3 hours. So I'm just like, you know what?
Totally.
But if I don't get the wave, I'm just like, wow, fuck you. I
Yeah.
get irrationally upset.
No, me
if
too.
you don't get the wave,
I am.
I
Are
agree.
you fucking?
No, yeah, I
wanna
get annoyed. I
wanna
get annoyed too.
Carly will probably flip them off.
I will.
I've seen her
Put me in a
I've
time
passenger
machine
flip
and
the
I'm not
bird.
letting you go.
I agree.
This podcast is sponsored by StoryWorth. There are some stories about my dad's life that I truly never get tired of hearing. He was a firefighter. I always ask him, like, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened, etc. And it's always a crazy story. From hilarious to heartfelt, tear-jerking to plot-twisting, his retelling of the events always brings me joy. Just in time for Father's Day, I found the perfect gift that captures all his stories for my family forever. It's called StoryWorth. StoryWorth helps you preserve precious memories and stories from your father or father figures years to come.
And here's how it works. Each week, StoryWorth emails your loved one a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. There's tons of great questions, like what was your first job? Who was your first girlfriend? What was your favorite memory with your significant other? Or what was it like the day I was born?
We can leave this out if we have to, but I did ask my dad when I was home, when's the last time he pooped his pants as an adult? So that might be a good question to ask.
Yeah, well, StoryWorth makes the writing process a breeze. All of your loved ones need to do is respond to that email with a story, long or short. It doesn't matter. You'll be emailed a copy of your loved one's response as they're submitted over the course of the year, and you'll get to enjoy their retelling of the stories you already know or be surprised by stories you've never heard before. And after that year of fun, StoryWorth compiles your loved one's stories and photos into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. You can even keep a copy of the book for yourself. They're great for Father's Day. They make for a great coffee table book. I know that we're planning on having one up at our lake cottage, so not only can I enjoy it, but all of my cousins and siblings can as well when we're all together, and it just makes for great conversation. Families love StoryWorth. That's why it has more than 25,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, with millions of stories preserved since they were founded over 10 years ago.
Give all the fathers in your life a unique, heartfelt gift you'll all cherish for years. StoryWorth. Right now, save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/ storyworth.com/goodinfluences. That's storyworth.com/goodinfluences to save $10 on your first purchase.
And now, back to the episode.
I just
hate it.
saved you possibly like minutes of your life. You're gonna make it on time to the surprise. Like I had this whole thing in my head, and you
But
couldn't
good
just
car
go,
karma.
But just give me the
You
wave.
let them in.
Good
Maybe
car
something good's coming your way.
something
Why
bad will
curse the
happen
world
to
if they
them.
didn't wave?
Give me the wave.
I mean, I'll wave.
You do wave.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Maybe it's not a
But
Texas
I don't
thing.
care if someone doesn't give me a wave. I'm like,
Oh, it's
I got somewhere I got to
You
be.
should worship the ground I now walk on for
Yeah, it
letting
is.
you in.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's a good one.
they went above and beyond.
Other
Thank
car
you.
stuff.
That should be written down.
Other car stuff. Don't have a loud car. Like,
Oh,
obviously, I know people like loud cars, but
Why?
me personally, I'm just like, you just sound like a loser to me, even though, like, those are really expensive cars and people love the sound. I don't. So I just feel like no one should have them.
A loud
Take
car.
them away. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
They're
You're
so
disrupting
annoying.
society.
You are. It's like, I'm going to call the police.
It's the worst. It's the worst. And also, I think about how miserable their life is because they're constantly driving with that sound.
Like
Yeah.
you
You
gotta have
can't listen to
tinnitus
music.
24/7.
Some people love it, though. Like, you can install a sound in your Tesla that makes it sound like that.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
But
People
why-
do that.
Like,
Wait,
you
it's
going to go?
just-
So, like, exhaust.
But
like,
it's coming through. Is the sound
Yes!
coming through a speaker?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's the dumbest thing
It's
I've
just-
ever
We
heard.
gotta
in my
try
life.
it on the way home.
It's just YouTube.
My favorite thing is when they're like older men and they're like, you hear that purr?
I know. I'm like,
Okay.
put your boner away, sir.
Loser.
Scary.
Sick.
Did you have one? I feel like you were
Yeah,
about
Matt,
to say
you had one.
About the cars?
No, just the new
No.
on your list.
Oh, I got a handful.
Let's,
Oh, okay,
let's hear
let's hear
one.
one.
We'll go in order.
Oh, I have. I say, don't take the aux at someone else's party.
Oh,
don't take the ox.
If you show up to someone's
Guilty.
party,
Oh, the ox, the AUX.
ox,
I thought you meant like
yes.
the ox, like the animal.
like an oxen, like
Yeah.
animal.
I
Yeah,
thought that
don't
was a
take.
phrase.
Like that's like something biblical. Don't take
Don't take
Yeah.
the
the
ox.
ox. That's
Do not remove the yoke of your neighbor's ox. I don't know. You're saying ox.
Well, I just think if it's like, I understand there's certain gatherings. I understand if you maybe are really close with a friend and you feel like you have similar music tastes. But if it's a small gathering and someone is the host, why go into someone else's place? Not even ask to maybe request your songs or like, could we change it to something? But just to like end the whole speaker system, connect to your phone and take
do
over.
people do that at another
Happens
party?
to me pretty often.
At
every
your
time.
house?
You
Yeah.
still use an ox?
Well, I
Or the
first would say
Bluetooth.
it's a Google
Yeah.
Google Home. I'm sorry, I always like have to say it quietly in case it doesn't
It's one
activate.
star.
There's one in here.
I don't know.
I
or
guess
s-
yeah.
the
The word
listeners.
ox is almost like
Ancient.
Yeah, it's
it's
almost,
like hang up the phone. We don't
yeah.
hang up the phone anymore.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess I just
Pass me
mean
the
aux
aux.
is just taking over and linking. You are now in control
Yeah.
and playing DJ over someone's entire
You're
system.
having a dinner party and someone's like, get low, get low.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me just a few times, and I always
Yeah.
think like, why would you go to someone else's house and take over the speaker system?
I would not.
I was at an
couldn't. I'd be
Airbnb
like,
one
I don't-
time with like 15 people. We were at a cabin upstate in New York, and we were like, oh, whatever. I was playing the music, and there's these two kids who fancy themselves as DJs, and they're part of the friend group. And they like, oh, we're DJs. They DJ on the weekend, whatever. And like, I'm playing fine, normal music. And then at one point, they're like, oh, can we take over for a little bit? And then they put on like deep house, like,
Nice.
and we're just like trying to hang out. And then someone was like, Sheffer, can you get back on? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then I went, and it was a actual aux. Like I
Yeah.
put my phone, I plugged it back in. I was like, yeah, okay, we're done with that. And then they got like offended by this because they're DJs. This is what they do for a
Yeah.
living. How dare you take over? What is this that you're? I was playing Etta James or something. And then about 5 minutes passed. The kid gets up. He takes his laptop, puts his laptop in like the dresser of the thing, takes my phone out, plugs his in, and then closes like the glass doors and locks it and takes the key. So his music was playing, and we all kind of
God.
looked at each other like, all right, I guess we're listening to Deep House for the rest of the night. And it was
Jesus.
Still friends with this person?
no.
Nope.
It was one of the wildest like power moves I've ever experienced. Like, fuck you,
It's locked
it's
and
locked.
loaded.
Like we are not playing your music anymore, Mike. We're doing mine. And I was like, okay. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's a vibe in the room. Let the vibe be what it is. Don't do that.
When I was in college, me and my roommate, if we were at like, normally it would be closer friends, but they were having like house parties, and we would take the aux and put on emo music just just to like piss people off.
Yeah,
And
that's
everyone would be
good.
like, what the fuck is going on? And we're like, yeah.
Matt and I kind of did that at David's house once. We put on Rent during a party and didn't go over well.
Yeah. Oh, that was when the Rent live
with Vanessa
show was
Hudgens.
on.
We were so
having
excited.
our own time.
Yeah.
But
Also,
I
David
heard-
has the worst taste in music, so.
That is true.
Yeah, he just puts
It's
on
fine.
Pitbull. But like,
yeah, it sounds like a Planet Fitness at his house.
Yeah. Imagine Dragons.
like Bill and then Billy Joel and like
but
yeah.
I was out tonight.
Aaron, did you?
I just made the list of everybody's.
Oh,
She has our listeners.
Yeah.
oh, from the listeners. Okay, we can get
Lots
to the
of them.
listeners in a second. Can I?
Oh,
give-
Mike, I have one for men.
let's hear
Those
it.
guys, if you see a skid mark in the toilet, try to pee it off.
Oh, I always do that.
Oh, wait, what?
I always do that.
If you're
You
at
try
someone's
to
house, like
pee
if
it
I'm
off.
at one of your houses and if I go into the bathroom
there's already a skid
there's
mark?
already a skid mark there and I'm peeing,
That's disgusting. People leave skid marks without cleaning it
sometimes.
all
How
the
do you
time.
clean it?
Well, sometimes they're hard.
with a brush.
But
Yeah,
what
but
if
if you're
there's-
at someone's house and you're just like,
No,
Yeah, if you go
I'm
s-
saying you said that you walked into someone's house and there's already a skid mark.
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Well, it might be like you're at a party and there was a
someone
guest.
just used it or something.
oh, okay.
Like I don't. It's just
Clean
if
after
I'm there,
yourself.
I'm not. But I'm not going to go back out in the hallway and be like, Carly, what's this skid mark? I'm not.
Yeah.
But I know that
I wish you would.
I can aim. I have a full bladder.
Yep.
And I
And
can
you
just
just-
aim
almost
right
like a
over.
game.
I'll clean it for you.
Wait, that sounds
and we
kinda
won't even need
fun.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's an
Also,
unspoken rule to wash.
You
the
don't
skid
want to
mark.
walk out of the bathroom having the previous person's
Yeah.
skin mark in there, and then it looks like you left it
Yeah,
there.
100%.
That's a nightmare.
that always bothers me on airplanes. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
if
great.
it's-
Someone's
Yeah.
going to think this was me.
Or it's like really
Yeah.
stinky, and you're like, well, the person's gonna think
Yeah.
I'm
Or if
stinky.
it's just pee everywhere.
I think people should just leave brushes by their toilets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of bathroom etiquette.
But sometimes,
Yeah.
like I've pooped before and like didn't realize that.
Pooped.
Yeah, a couple times, and I didn't realize it left a little skid mark. And then I went to pee later, and I was like, oh, that was me.
That's so interesting. I always like look at the toilet when I'm flushing.
I don't know if I look.
Yeah. Or if there is a skid mark, then you flush it again. But right when the water's in there, just go like with the toilet paper and
Like,
then
oh,
Oh,
just
you're doing it.
No.
no.
you only
no.
have a short
No.
amount of time.
I
My
would
hand
do
is
it.
not crossing the threshold of the rim.
I
I've
would
never-
do it.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I can do it. No
Also-
problem.
I would do it shamelessly.
Have you never seen the visual of when a toilet flushes? All the
You've done that at your house? Or just like at a party or something?
Well, not my house because I
At a
have
party.
a dishwasher.
So you're sticking your hand in other
I've done it. I have done it in my life where I have
I'm
left
learning
a
too
skid
much
mark
about
and
you
I'm
guys.
like, hold on, hear me out. I've been at a gathering. I know I've done this probably 2 times in my life. And there is no toilet cleaner.
And you're barefoot on
I
the
have
airplane.
pooped. I've left the skid mark. I don't want that there. So the moment I flush, and then when that water goes down and there's no water filled up yet.
I'm following.
And so I've wrapped my hand up in the toilet paper and I do that and it's gone and then I take it all off.
That's some Indiana
Gotta do what you gotta
Jones
do.
level.
Then you
I
gotta-
understand now why you wear shoes in your home.
What do you? Oh, I do. I guess occasionally wear shoes in my home.
Oh, that was one of mine actually.
Oh.
I feel like an unwritten rule is if you go to someone's house, just like take your shoes off just in case.
I always
Or
ask.
or
I'm
ask.
always like, hey,
Shoes
what's
off?
the shoe vibe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoes off? Shoes on?
I've become such a shoes off girly that now I like understand.
I always just do it, and people are like, you don't have to take them
yeah,
off.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I've engineered this to be shoes off because the answer to that, if they are a shoes off household, the answer is yes. So that's a positive answer. Shoes off, yes. Okay, we're on a positive track. I know, I forget at your house sometimes. 'Cause-
Every time.
Well, I feel like when I go to your house, it's like to work. So for me, it's like not like, oh, I'm going to hang
Right.
out.
I
at,
have
like,
to have my shoes on for me to like think and work.
Yeah,
I
like-
can't like act like it's like a
It's a
slumber
weird-
party at my house.
It would be like coming in here and being like, shoes off. And I'm like, well,
Literally.
Mine are literally
yeah,
off.
normally when I wear socks in here, I'll take them off.
yeah.
also
I don't like wearing shoes inside at all.
I'll just put a sign on my door for when you come
it
over.
should be a written rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put his
it's
face
just
on
an
the door.
unwritten rule
Shoes
that should
off.
be.
face on the door.
But then
he
if they
cannot come.
say shoes off and the answer is no, then it's not awkward because it's like,
Yes.
oh, I can keep them on.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask them, can I keep my shoes on? Then the answer is like no, and now you're like in a conflict with that person.
There's a Sex in the City episode where Carrie goes to a friend's party, like an adult friend, and she's like, shoes off. And, you know, Carrie, like, loves her shoes. And they're a pair of Manolos, and someone took them.
Oh, because she took them off. at
Oh,
the
I
party?
remember this. Yeah.
Like everyone had to take off their shoes, and then
That's a good point. What if
Hermanola Blancs, or what are they
Yeah.
called?
someone could steal your shoes?
Okay, when you go to someone's house, friend, party, you open up the fridge. What can you take without asking? Can you take food?
Any beverage is up for grabs, unless there's only a certain amount of that beverage left. There has to be less than 3.
It's a party.
If there's less
party
than,
or just
if
we're
there's
hanging
less
out
than
at
3 of a
house.
certain beverage, and if it looks like it's a very niche beverage, you have to ask for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So liquids are
if-
okay.
If I go in and I see 3 Granny Smith apple kombuchas,
Yeah.
I'm not taking that. I'm asking, can I have one? If there's 8 of them in there, sorry, you invited me over.
Yeah.
I am a guest.
Yep.
If you have a problem that I took one of those, then I don't know. Just keep an eye on your guest. And one, when a guest comes over, say, offer them something. You should always offer someone a glass of water. They can have whatever's in the refrigerator. And if there's something you don't want them to have, just say, don't have this. I think that's customary if you're having people come over to your home.
But I'm saying you
if
as
I
the
go
guest,
to you, if I'm going over to your house and you have 12 Coronas,
Yeah.
and I have one, and if you have a problem with that, you're nuts. You are a nutty person. To me, you have 12. You have 12.
I'm just.
what if he was
that's-
saving them for a special occasion?
I think 12 is a.
All 12 of them?
This is from Curb.
Oh, I feel like I would always ask.
Liquids, I think you don't have to ask for. I agree with Larry on this one. You don't ask for liquids, but
Food.
you also don't go in like if they have, I don't know, cheese sticks, whatever you call them, string
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah.
You got to ask. Like even if they have a dozen of them, you ask.
I wouldn't do that
Yeah,
at your
yeah,
house.
yeah.
You wouldn't take food?
I would never. Well, when is there food at your house?
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. It was just a joke.
How dare you?
I also feel like I never.
Like think about going to a fridge.
Yeah, like
Same.
When especially like now, I feel like I don't go to parties where it's like I will bring my own alcohol. You know what I mean? Like I bring like a bottle of wine or something.
But like, what if you're coming over to like my house to like hang out and film something?
Then
you,
I would ask you no matter what.
You
was
wouldn't
in
just
your
go into
fridge.
my fridge and
No.
No, I would open your fridge and I'd be like, "Hey, do you mind if I have one of these?"
Well, we've known each other very long to where I would be so shocked. I wouldn't ask you if I could
Yeah,
have
I
something in
wouldn't-
your
I-
fridge
like-
because I've known you now for like 10 years. Or it's not 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah, about-
It's unspoken where I wouldn't have a problem if you grab something out of my fridge.
Yes.
For probably Carly and Aaron, I would ask you guys if I can have things in your fridge before getting.
Thank you.
Mike, it's like a different.
I feel like I'm realizing now I would go into your fridge and take a drink and then realize after like I probably should have asked Aaron if
Yeah,
I can
the
have
thing
this.
is, like, I don't care. But for me, it's like, okay, what if I went into your fridge and I didn't know that you were like saving the drink for something or you were having people over that night, and then I would feel bad if I just like.
I think if you
took
have
it.
one drink,
Sure.
it's fine.
But I think that's just why I
yeah.
ask.
But I like Matt's thing. If there's 4 or more, you can take.
Yeah.
If there's 3, like if there's 3 Ollipops,
Off limits.
I'm
Or they
not
have
taking one of the
coconut
Ollipops.
waters. Like you can't have that. Or like there's
Yeah, those seem very medical. Like they do that every morning. Like they have
Right.
their coconut
It's-
water.
yeah,
part of their
you know?
routine. They
Yeah.
have to be hosting beverages, not private, personal,
a kombucha.
favorite
Yeah.
consumptions where you can tell that this is their favorite thing.
Yeah.
That's where, yeah. If it's a communal beverage,
Yeah.
I'm helping myself.
I guess I just don't really think about it. Even at like Aaron's, I'll just like get water. I never really think about like
Also-
randomly. I'll be like, yibbity.
It also
yummy
just
juice."
depends on my read of that person to where I can tell if like, oh, maybe they're like a big beverage person or they're an influencer. They get sent this stuff all the time.
Oh,
Who the
yeah.
fuck gives a shit? But if I have a friend who's like, who
Well, it's still
maybe,
their stuff.
but
I have a
I don't
million
know.
primes.
I think I have a pretty good read of like how close of friends we are, and I'm helping to myself of a
Yeah, if they
beverage.
have the fridge
and their
full of
temper.
Prime.
And if
lined up
Yeah.
in the American
but it's
flag.
also
I need to
like
get
maybe
rid
they're
of some
tempered,
Prime.
or do they have the type of personality that would be like, yeah, who gives a shit? But if they would be like, wait, what the hell?
Right.
Who do you think you are? I'd be like, I think I
Who
can
do you
have a
think you
read on
are?
like that type of person. But if I have a buddy who like, I don't know, maybe doesn't have like amount of resources, doesn't have a lot of money, or like I wouldn't go in and start taking his shit.
I've never asked David for anything ever in his house. His fridge
Right.
is
I
like
think if you did, he'd be like, "Why the fuck are you asking?"
The-
me?"
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh,
his-
I have that. I didn't even know."
His fridge was like set up for people to take
right,
stuff from.
right. But I feel like that's how I think about everybody's fridge with liquids.
It also depends on how you are setting up that refrigerator. If I open it up and it's all of these things organized in a way that seems communal, like the way
Like
David
David's.
organizes his refrigerator.
Yeah.
That's like, That's inviting.
It's inviting, yeah.
That's you're inviting people to consume those beverages.
But
Yeah.
Maybe,
I guess it
or
just-
maybe they're just organized.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like,
Maybe they got an organizer.
12 beverages deep. This way, this way,
do you
this way.
okay? Off the liquids, do you ask if there's a snack? Do you ask about the snack, or you don't even ask?
No, I ask about everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
But, like, would
I will
you
never
ask?
go. I will
Yeah.
never go.
You'd be like, hey, can I have some of this string cheese? Like, if you're hungry, would you ask,
No,
or do you
I
be like,
don't-
I'm not even gonna ask?
Yeah.
I'll
I go
ask-
to Joe's house sometimes. I'm like, do you have any like snacks?
Like chips.
I'm with
Well,
you.
at your house, if I'm at your house, I go,
Sorry,
do you have any snacks here? Like
Yeah.
anything that I can just put
Anything.
in my stomach, Mike? And you'll be like, nothing. You'll come out with like nuts, and I'm like, am I a bird?
That's like when we're at Joe's. He's like, I have these protein chips.
I know.
I'm like,
"Bleh."
I'll starve.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So I will not go digging for snacks. I will ask
Yeah.
for snacks. But if I'm at Zane or Todd's house, I'm stealing whatever the fuck.
I
Also-
love opening a fridge and being like, what can I have here? Can I
Yeah.
have this? Can I have
We've
this?
definitely
Like,
done that at my house.
I feel like I grew up very communal, where everyone's asking, everyone's taking. Like,
That's what I was. I feel like when you're a kid and you have like a best friend you hang out with all the time, you like know their family. It's just like so normal. Just open the fridge and
Totally.
take whatever.
But
Going
you're
in-
also not buying
Because you're
your
a
own
kid.
shit.
Exactly. So
That's-
it's just like, what do they have?
yeah, maybe that's an area of development I need to work on. I still think about myself as like a 12-year-old going into.
We've been talking about that.
I haven't.
We're joking. I'm just sorry. I thought it was funny. Yeah. You really need to work on that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're finally seeing that.
Thank God.
I'll
Smartest
work on it.
12-year-old I
There
know
was
though.
one that someone sent that said an unwritten rule is like when you get invited to someone's house, don't show up empty-handed. Like never
Yeah.
show
Of
up
course.
empty-handed.
That's a big one too.
Yeah.
Oh, and people love doing it. Showing
Yes.
up empty-handed.
I think it depends on the situation. If they're like, if you ask also ahead of time, if you're like, hey, can I bring anything? And they're like, no, like, don't worry about it. Then I feel like that's a little different. But like, my friend Cheryl, she like always will bring like flowers over.
Aw.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
But I'm like, people don't do that.
Yeah.
Flowers.
Patricia's
no.
addicted to bringing flowers.
So
Addicted.
nice.
Oh my gosh.
I usually try to
Addicted.
bring some liquid,
Yeah.
like
a wine or
because like
Totally.
sometimes I feel like bringing beers is cool, but I also think like I don't know, people will want like mixers,
Depends if it's
Topo
a-
Chicos, Olipop, something different, and then it's like I don't know. It's always good to bring something.
Pre-games,
I
I
agree.
always like to do like just a check-in call if I'm really close with the host. Like, do you really need me to bring anything,
Right.
or are you set? Because at pre-games, you're not. Sometimes it might not be, or
Like
you're
the
not going to
kind you
get it
want.
like back, or you only have like a short amount of time to use it, and sometimes they have plenty.
You don't need to bring
like,
a case and then you drink one beer now that you
Yeah.
just gave up a
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, so I always do a check-in before a pre-game.
Yeah, we hit a bottle at Zane's like old apartment. Do you remember that? There's a picture of us like by the
Hiding
cabinet.
it?
We like brought a bottle of something and we're like, we only got to have like a shot. And we're like, let's just hide it for next time. We're like,
Yeah.
put it in like a cabinet or something.
Yeah. Was it in the laundry room?
No, it was in the
Did
kitchen.
we take a picture of this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Would you ever take it back with you? Like if you show up with like a
Yes.
24 pack and
shit.
it doesn't even get open, do you like, you know what, I'm gonna
Yeah, you brought it. Well,
Yeah.
I think it depends on like the context. If you brought it as like a gift for them, you're like, here, I got you this 30 rack. Or
No, but like
whatever.
we're going to like, let's say we think we're going to go to your house and just hang out for the night, and then we end up going to a different party and we don't even like crack open the case.
Yeah,
I'm
take it.
taking it.
think it
I feel
depends.
like you should, but I always feel like a criminal when I'm just like,
if I know I'm
criminal.
gonna like be back, I'll be like, oh,
Then what type of person goes like hosting the pregame
why are
and
you
then
taking it?
someone who brought their beer is walking back out with the beer and me being like, that's mine because I hosted the pregame. You're nuts. That is a nutty person to start like going, you came in with that and you're walking out with that? How dare you? That's now mine.
I don't think he's afraid of that. I think he's afraid of just like what they're thinking. Like,
or just like I look
that
like
person's
I
crazy.
think that's a nutty person
it's
to,
it feels
like,
a little stereotypical Jewish to be like, oh, we're not eating. Well, I guess I'll take this
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Like,
it does
was-
feel weird. I would feel weird doing that. I'd be like,
I think it
hee-hee,
totally
you know.
depends on the situation.
Well, Aaron, do you have ones from the
Yeah.
audience submissions? Let's read some of those.
This podcast is sponsored by Ghostbed. Here on our podcast, we love talking about people we adore, and when it comes to getting great sleep, I love getting great sleep, and I think everyone in this world does. We really love the folks at Ghostbed.
As a family-owned company with over 20 years of experience, Ghostbed knows a thing or two about crafting the perfect mattress. They use only the most durable, supportive, and long-lasting materials so you can trust that your bed will provide you with years of excellent sleep.
What sets Ghostbed apart is their signature and patented cooling technology. Say goodbye to those restless, sweaty nights. Every mattress keeps you cool and comfortable so you can sleep like a dream.
And when you purchase a Ghostbed mattress, your comfort is guaranteed. With their 101-night sleep trial, you can try it out risk-free and experience the difference for yourself. Plus, they offer free shipping, and most items ship within 24 hours. Visit ghostbed.com/good to save 50% off site-wide.
Ghostbed offers high-quality mattresses at a fantastic price. Their #1 seller is the Ghostbed Luxe, designed with premium memory foam and cutting-edge cooling technology that reacts and adjusts to your body heat as you sleep. Or if you prefer more of a hybrid feel with both foam and coils, check out the Ghostbed Flex Hybrid for the perfect blend of comfort and support.
And if you need any assistance along the way, Ghostbed has a team dedicated sleep experts ready to help you find the perfect mattress. They'll guide you through the options and ensure you make the best choice for your needs.
Ready for a more comfortable night of sleep? I know I am. Visit ghostbed.com/good. And because we're all about sharing the love here on Good Influences, use code GOOD to save 50% off your purchase site-wide. That's right, 50%.
And now, back to the episode.
Okay, the first one that we got probably hundreds of was putting your grocery cart in the cart return.
Yeah.
We all agree on that.
Number
Cartnarks
one.
is doing God's work.
I think I would think about it the rest of the day if I didn't.
Oh.
I'd genuinely be like, I'm that person.
I will say, I used to not do it.
Yeah.
When I growing up, when I was like in high school, because I also had a friend whose job it was to be a cart person, like at the local grocery store.
Yeah.
In high school, his job was walking around and like collecting the carts and putting it in.
But they're
And then-
mostly just moving the carts from the cart rack to the front of the
Yeah,
store.
but when
I've come
they're
to
rogue,
realize
they have
that-
to go find them.
Yes, part of it, most of his job was finding it in the lot, and I just thought that's the way society is set up. We have a guy who goes and collects them, and then we have the people
Yeah.
who just leave them, and I'm just one of those. And I didn't even
Where would you
think-
leave them?
Just like I usually would like try to prop it up on the curb so that it wouldn't roll away.
Yeah.
Then you
I
can't
knew
park
there was
them.
something amiss because like if you just leave it, it could roll and dent into someone's car, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd like prop it up on a curb, and then the guy would come and take it.
Oh, there were so many times when we worked at Target, we would have like storms, crazy wind, and
Yeah.
I'd be on my break and I'd be looking out the window and there'd be carts slamming into
Oh my
cars.
God.
Yeah.
Because people just leave their carts
Yeah.
willy-nilly, and then if it gets windy, you're fucked.
I do
How
think
does
that
the-
what?
How does the magnet thing work on a
That happened to
shopping
me the
cart?
first time when we were here.
Oh, at Walmart.
So if you
Dude.
push the shopping cart out of the zone
Oh,
of
it
the
locks up
parking
the
lot,
wheels. That's
Yeah.
it
new
locks.
technology.
Wait, what is the technology?
Well, technology.
It's
Is
technology.
there a border?
Yeah, there's some
There
sort
has
of
to be.
perimeter with like a sensor inside of it, and it's like an electric
It's probably like
fence.
it can go 100 feet or something.
Yeah, or there
Yeah.
there might be like a
Is
sensor.
it magnets or is it like a chip?
It feels like a magnet.
I don't
You
know if
gotta
it's
drag
magnet.
that thing.
Yeah, Aaron
One
and
time,
I.
Carly and I parked out of the zone. Never happened in my life.
No,
you were
we
just
were-
pushing
I was
it.
like,
We were
what
like-
the-
we were
we thought
literally-
the cart was broken.
And it's so funny because we just had moved here and we were like, let's go to Walmart. But the Walmart,
farthest Walmart was like an hour
It was like by
away.
the airport.
Yeah. Like,
it
it
would
was
be
There's no
scary.
Walmarts out here. Like the
I-
only ones
The one
in
in
Burbank.
Burbank, yeah.
And we did not live in like this area at that time too. So like we went all the way over there. They had like nothing. I feel like it was like
It was
bare.
terrible because it was like right when school was starting.
It's like
Yeah.
a
I
Walmart
feel or something like
Express.
that.
It's like a.
No, it was a big one.
It was a big
Oh.
one. Yeah.
The
one
one
in
by
Burbank?
the airport.
No.
Oh,
No,
I guess
we-
I'm used to super centers. There's Walmarts, there's Walmart super centers, and there's like
Oh.
Walmart Expresses.
We just went to a reggie.
Yeah.
Regular.
And you were just,
We were
We were like,
dragging it.
do. And
We were like,
"Whoa."
something's wrong with this cart.
and you just kept pushing through.
were-
We were
pulling
like
it,
we were like
carrying
pulling it
it.
from the side. Like we were on
Yeah.
the side. We're like,
we were
would
like,
not
we don't
move.
know what happened.
we were like, something's wrong with this cart. I think someone told us that they like, it
Yeah,
gets locked
eventually
up.
we found out.
How do unhoused people get like the shopping carts?
They
Like,
probably have older ones from the 90s.
Yeah, a lot of carts don't do. I mean, maybe they do. I just haven't realized.
maybe
I haven't
there's a
tried
trick
to like.
you just like unscrew.
Wait,
it
are
and-
all carts like this now?
No.
a lot
Because I guess I've never tried
modern
to like.
ones?
Should we try to steal some carts? We each go to a different
Trader
grocery
Joe's.
store.
Yeah.
No, the cart thing is. I also think the internet has really made that
Cart narcs.
a lot more well known. Like I think cart narcs.
It's the litmus test.
I feel like I never really use them.
Carts?
Yeah.
What do you use in hand baskets?
I don't
grocery
shop at the grocery
delivery.
store.
What do you? Oh, you do delivery?
Yeah.
I feel like delivery they always get something wrong, and it's
Yep.
I want this flavor, and they get me like lime, and I'm just like,
I've been doing delivery now, and it's amazing.
Oh, I want to
Really?
do that so bad.
Oh my gosh!
I feel- or if,
and
like,
the
you want-
prices are even like better, I think. But I don't want to put grocery stores out of business. All respect to every grocery store.
You
Wait, what do you
single-handedly.
But you're still buying the groceries.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I know.
Yeah, you're still giving them money.
What?
Well, I know, but I think I don't want to. But it's fucking Amazon. That's what like I feel bad about.
Wait,
Oh,
what are
like
you doing?
I feel like I
Amazon
just should be
store.
supporting like a business that specializes in groceries and is grocery store, not just
They're
like
doing
Amazon
fine.
that owns it.
You know
I
what I
guess
mean?
so. But I just think like the prices are better. I don't have to deal with substitutions. I used to do with Ralph's just pickup, just
Right.
express pickup.
Yeah.
And they always had. Sorry, we didn't have this. We substituted with that. Is that okay? Or like it's a whole different flavor.
And then you got to make sure you got the refund for the thing that it's a nightmare.
yeah, but Amazon Fresh.
What do you use?
Has been great.
Shipped.
But like what grocery
Shipped?
store?
It depends.
You shipped
Yeah.
SHIPT.
I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
I've
it's
heard of
called.
them. They were like big during COVID.
Patricia's like neighbor back in Birmingham came up with that whole
I
business.
think that's what
Oh,
TJ
wow.
orders
That's
them
crazy.
on.
Shipped.
It
Yeah, they were
depends.
big during COVID
Yeah.
because no one could leave the house.
I
Yeah.
think they just sold for $1 billion.
Wow.
Damn.
Crazy story.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Next
what are we
one.
talking
Sorry, yeah,
about?
we're doing.
Okay, taking off shoes, plain. Okay, this one basically every other person wrote. They just said walk on the right side of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like there are a lot of
Yeah.
sidewalk rules.
Yeah.
And then I
Yes.
kind of added my own, like if you are walking in like a group of more than 2 on a sidewalk and you're just kind of like leisurely strolling, don't do that.
Yeah.
Be
don't
aware.
Don't
God.
red
Take a
rover a
glance
whole
back.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just
Oh.
like slow.
I can't handle it. I'm like,
Yes.
how do I
Well,
get
there's
her-
people at Equinox when they just walk up the steps, they do 2 and 2, and they just take their time.
Walking the
and
whole
I'll
staircase?
I'll get right close up to them, and I'll go right at their pace.
Will you
and
not
I'll
just say
keep-
excuse me?
Nah, I'll do it for as long as I can, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Yeah."
How long are you walking up the stairs?
But it's probably a good like 30 seconds, but it
Get
could
2
be
hour-
10
get 2
seconds.
hours up the stairs?
But it's just I do it because like I kind of want. I'm not being passive aggressive, but I just
Well.
want them to be like. I think it's just crazy going. This stair's only this big. You're going 2 and 2. It's a one-person stair that most of the gym operates by. But there's these people who will just be like,
just be like, excuse me. Like some people, you just
I'm
need
not
to
in
snap-
a. The thing is, I'm not in a rush.
But just snap
Where
them
am I
out of
trying
it.
to go, Mike? I'm just going up. I'm going up one story to another machine. I'm in no hurry.
But then why
Why
even-
care?
Yeah,
But it's
why-
just because I just think it's. I think if you're on a transitional like stairway like that, and you know how skinny it is, you know how many people go up and down it. I don't get why anybody would just be like, let's both go side by side up the whole thing together. To me, that just seems like I would never even do that. Even if I had a friend there, I'd be like, just get behind me, let's go up.
All
TJ and
right.
I would walk up the stairs in a pair, but then like if you see someone coming down, you just slide behind
But y'all
each
are
other.
fast.
Yeah, but you're working your way up. These people are like, boom, but boom,
Oh, God.
but boom, no care in the world.
Yeah, that would drive me crazy.
Okay.
but
I'll
I'll just like, but I'm like in no hurry. I'll just wait to get up there.
I will say,
Take
I
your pace.
agree with like walking on the sidewalk or like in a mall when you're on like the escalator. If you're walking,
Get
you
to
on
the
the left
side.
side. If you're standing, you're on the right side. In London, because their shit is backwards, I was bumping into people all
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking time. I couldn't figure it out.
But then they would switch
Yes,
it up. And
I
then
know.
You'd be like, I thought you guys are over here.
it was, and like biking there, it was.
Yeah, it's tough when you
Yeah.
have to change. Yeah, like whatever country you're in, whatever side of the road you drive on, walk
Straight
on that
walk.
same side.
I think
Yeah.
everyone should just. It's what? Who are the holdouts?
Switch.
London and Australia. Just come on.
Ireland, it's like a lot of places.
It's like 3.
Opposite side.
Yeah, just let's move on over. Come on, we're all doing it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I thought this one was interesting. If you have like a K-cup machine at home, toss out the one you use so that when the next person goes to use it, they don't have to do that
Yeah.
for
no,
you.
I just
Oh.
squish it into the other.
No, you don't.
You're just like, kunk, kunk, kunk.
I go, oh, I'm not going to take that out. I'm going to.
The only time I use a Keurig is when I'm at my parents' house, and I always forget. And I feel
take
so
it out
bad.
after?
My dad doesn't give a shit, but like I don't always feel so bad. I'm like, my poor dad, like he had to throw it
Yeah.
away. It's like
Yeah.
he's
Cleaning up after
He's fine.
me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's other
As you
things that are
should.
like that.
If you are taking a dog to go poop and you use the doggy bag, do you then carry the dog poop with you for the rest of the dog walk?
Until you find a garbage can.
But whose garbage can are you putting in? Are you putting it into
anybody's.
anybody's?
See, I'm with you. I was always told that was like illegal.
Yeah, I feel like I am an awful person, so I'll
If
carry
a
the dog
garbage can is
poop.
on the street, it's
Yeah.
public.
But I
But
don't
it's
get
not your
that because,
garbage
like,
can. People put their dog poop in my garbage can all the time, and I always thought, I thought people aren't supposed to do that. But
That's
I
why
guess
you got to
that's
be quick with bringing it back because you don't want
Yes.
yours to be the public one.
Yes.
But if it's on the street,
Oh, it's the
that's
politics
it's fair
of it
game.
all.
Yeah, it happens all the time to me. I don't really care. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
like,
Emma does
whatever.
it too, but
of
I
like
just
Curb Your Enthusiasm, where like he put his trash in someone else's trash. He's like, you can't put your trash in my trash.
Right, but Larry's right. You can.
Okay. So
That guy is an
you
asshole.
don't carry the dog poop. You have free power to put the dog poop in someone else's trash can before they pull it back into their
Yeah, I
house.
would like
Yeah.
to
As their
clarify
fault.
if like their trash can is open or they like put it out before trash day and like
Yeah.
they're just on the road, like we will throw it away in their trash can, but I'm not going into like someone's driveway.
No.
to
No,
put-
right. It's got to be on the street.
Yes.
she's going into their home.
Honestly,
Now, what if a person comes out and goes, hey, did you just put dog poop in my trash can? And you go, I'm so sorry. They go, get it out.
No, I would just
What
be
do you
like,
say?
yeah, I would say, yeah,
a
it's a
trash
garbage
can.
can. Problem?
And then you keep walking, and they go,
Yeah.
where do you think you're going, mister?
I'm
Get that
going to go
out
about
of
my day.
trash.
You have
So
a
it's
problem?
not illegal.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
I was always told
is it
it
a
was.
legality thing? Or I feel like some people are like, how dare you put your dog poop in my trash can that I
just
then
think
have to
those-
pull out to the side of my house and I have to smell dog poop? Once again, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a
No
shit
pun
about
intended.
this shit. But when I am taking Patricia's parents' dog for a walk and I have the dog poop, I'm like, what? I carry it because I'm terrified of putting the dog poop
Well, yeah.
in someone else's trash can.
I would be scared there too.
Because
Oh, in Alabama, yeah, they have shotguns and stuff. That's insane.
yeah.
Because I just
Yeah.
think that's the wrong
Get off
thing
my
to
lawn.
do. It's like
Is that
returning the
right?
shopping cart. I don't, because it's shit out of all things.
Yeah, but it's in a bag.
But it smells.
You're,
I know,
you're not
I'm-
like emptying
I
the
agree
bag
with
and
you.
dumping it in the.
I'm so conflicted about what to do.
I agree with you, but everyone I know that has a dog like throws it wherever in a trash can. So I feel like
Sound
that
off
is
in the
what-
comments below.
Yeah,
It
sound
does
do
say
with this
putting
shit?
trash in a dumpster that is not yours is also illegal.
Lock them up.
I don't know, like,
jail.
Busted. Mugshot.
like I'm not throwing garbage bags of trash. I have asked my neighbor before because we had like an
overflow?
and I was like, "Do you mind if I throw a bag in your garbage can?" He's like, "Of course."
He
But,
calls
like,
the cops.
Yeah, he was
I
like,
also
"It's
think if
fine."
it's before the trucks have come,
oh yeah,
then
whatever.
it's for sure.
Then I
fair
wouldn't.
game.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
whatever.
If it's like you open it up and there's still trash in there and you're just putting another piece of poop and the thing's about
Yeah.
to come and take it,
I will say people put like if our thing has been open for the afternoon after the trash comes, there's at least like 3 bags of
yeah,
dog poop.
mine,
And I'm like,
mine
whatever.
too. Yeah.
Now, what if a dog poops in some shrubbery? Like, I'm talking not clean
Not
turd on
grass.
a lawn,
Not
but
where you're
goes
gonna walk.
into like, some ivy or some intense bushes.
Where you're
on
not gonna be
someone's thing.
walking.
And where you're not going to be walking. It poops in there. Do I then need to get the bag and go deep into the shrubs and get that turd?
I don't know.
Or am I,
Get that
or am
turd.
I like, this didn't happen and we're getting
I don't
out of
know.
it?
Technically, like someone's yard.
It is someone's yard,
Absolutely
but
pick it up.
intense.
Oh, if
intense-
it's someone's
Pick
yard,
it up.
yeah.
but
if you're like at a
shrubbery.
What if
No.
it's a
No.
business?
And
What
they
if it's a
don't even know
business?
that the turd happened.
if it's someone's yard,
They might.
Yeah, if it's
No
someone's
turd
yard, you
exists.
have because their kids could be playing in
So-
there.
Yeah, like
So, yeah, I
pick up
do
your
it.
dog's poop.
Yeah.
Well,
No
I'm
matter
doing
what.
that every time then. But buddy, I'm getting deep into fucking shrubs on someone
Why are
else's
you letting
lawn.
the dog go in the shrubs? You're
Because it's a fucking dog.
You're
I'm
the
letting it
owner.
sniff. I'm just letting it sniff its best trail, and I'm just like,
You gotta be
because
the
I also
leader.
think it's gonna pee, and the next thing I know, it's pooping, and then I'm like, oh boy, here I go, because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like stop a dog mid turd.
You
I
should
feel
put
like
the
that's
bag under the butt
Yeah, the
to
little-
catch
we
the
got to get you to
turd.
watch some Caesar, whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah,
the
Caesar
dog
Milan.
whisperer.
No, I think it's like let him poop where he needs to poop, but then just pick it up.
I know, but I'm talking like
He gets poison ivy.
I need to like point out what kind of shrubbery I'm talking
Like
about.
spiky?
Like the corner part of someone's lawn where maybe there's like a little mini tree and some bushes, and then
If it's
just
someone's
this, like,
lawn,
ivy
bro,
and
you
stuff.
have to clean it up. That's
But
insane.
you can't even see it. So I know,
Yeah, but,
right?
like, the people,
and
they
then
probably
I'm
have
in there.
gardeners
I'm in
who are
there
then gonna have to do it.
with the baggie, looking deep into this stuff, going, I can't even find this
Well,
poop,
the
but I know
problem-
that it's customary to do it.
You have to
So I'm
solve the
beating-
first problem of letting, like, when you're walking a dog. Maybe we could do some lessons.
Turd talk.
So do not let it go up into any
No,
shrubs.
no.
They can only be pooping on clean,
Yeah.
straight lawn.
Yeah, you have the
if
leash.
you don't feel like picking it up,
Yeah.
then it seems like that's a good alternative method.
I just feel like when it's deep in shrubs, I could walk away, but I've never done it. But
Don't.
Unscathed.
Don't
do it. As
leave
someone
poop-
with a yard,
Yeah.
please do not do that.
What if you
Okay.
had a yard and someone pooped in
But
your yard?
I can still though pick up that poop and then toss it into the person's
Put it in
trash
my
can.
garbage.
Well, we
I don't
just
care.
found out
owns-
it's illegal, so I
As
don't
long
know
as
where
it's
you
off
want to.
my yard,
I'm
put
just
it
so
wherever the fuck
conflicted.
you want.
I'm so conflicted.
I think there's pretty
Emma.
cut and dry rules here.
Also, speaking of is it illegal or is it not, Emma and I were walking across Ventura, like jaywalking pretty
Oh,
much,
yeah.
and there was a cop like in line at In-N-Out. And I was like, I gotta tell them, I feel so bad. Like I was kidding, obviously, but I was like, I was like, is it technically illegal to jaywalk? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, cool. Because
Wait,
They got
what?
rid
I
of
thought
it.
it was.
no,
No.
they said it used to be illegal, and
Oh,
now
good.
it's
I
not.
do it all the
In
time.
LA.
Los Angeles or
Yeah.
everywhere?
LA
At LA, I
lifted.
think.
LA lifted the jaywalking.
The jaywalking ban.
That's fantastic news.
Yeah, now we can get hit by cars.
But I don't jaywalk. Well, unless
Unwritten rule.
I don't know.
Phone call cutoff time. Another one from Curb Your Enthusiasm. What is the cutoff time on a weeknight for a phone call
Oh.
to a
Oh,
friend?
someone said 9 p.m. on here.
You don't call anybody after 9 p.m.
This person said don't call or text.
See,
Which I wanted
think-
to talk about.
I think
Depends on what
with
it
the
is.
do not disturb, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter anymore.
Depends
I
on the
agree.
time zone too. You have to be mindful of the other
Oh, of
person's time
course.
zone.
It's
I
all
think-
about the time zone.
I also think if you're going to call, like this person said, past 9 p.m., I feel like that's a good cutoff time. If you did need to call them, like text me, like, hey, can I call you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little courtesy.
Yeah.
Depends
Larry David
on-
says
yeah.
you get a 1 hour dispensation for good news. So what if you have good news?
yeah.
Can you call like 9:30 with like, oh my God, we're going to Disney World tomorrow. Like I won the tickets. Like, can you call after 9 p.m. if you have good news?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
of
call my
course.
brother.
Or like she
whenever
had
I
the
want.
baby. Like,
Like
you
if you
call.
called me at 9:30, I would answer the phone.
It's also like different for different people. Like he just said he'd call his brother like
I
at
call my
10 or
brother
something.
anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Mike, I'll call at 9, but I know he doesn't like it.
oh, you don't like it.
No,
Well,
he
because you're
doesn't-
calling a
Bad
vent about
news.
Well,
something.
you're always like, it's all.
It's never
Larry
good news.
David.
You're like, I'm off the clock.
Yeah, let's just deal with it tomorrow. It's gonna be fine.
I think you could text whenever. Like I text people at like 2 a.m.
I know.
And I'm like, if you
Yeah.
don't have do not disturb on,
And that's on you, and that's what we've said before, and I stand by it.
I'm pretty anti FaceTime without a heads up.
Oh,
Really?
Sorry.
No, if it's someone that you talk to basically every day,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
that's okay.
Okay.
But I haven't texted with you in like a week.
Sure.
Don't just FaceTime me out of nowhere.
Do
Yeah.
you get nervous or you're like, what? do
No,
they mean?
I just like if it's like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, I'm like I'm in the middle of my day. The way that I think about a FaceTime, it's like the person materializes in front of you, and it's like if
Yeah.
someone FaceTime me right now, it would be like they're jumping in the room, and be like, "Hey, I'm here, answer me," and I'm like, I don't need this right now.
Yeah, it has like you. It has. There's a bit of uncertainty about the etiquette of what they're expecting on the FaceTime call. Like for you and me, we can FaceTime, but I can set
we
it
talk
down
every
like
day.
it's a phone call, and
Yeah,
then I can
yeah.
occasionally glance. I don't have to be looking at you in the eye every time and like set it up like this is a one-on-one session.
Yeah.
If someone's randomly FaceTiming me and I don't FaceTime them often, I'm like, what am I getting into? A freaking,
Right. It has to be like
Video
I feel like
interview?
the four of us are like almost always in conversation. Like if you're FaceTiming me, it's like something we probably just texted about or
Yeah.
whatever. But like, yeah, again, someone who hasn't talked to me in a week plus and the first communication is a FaceTime, you got to give me a text. Hey, are you free? What are you doing? Can I call you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's insane to just FaceTime someone out of nowhere.
What if like you haven't talked to like a high school friend in a long time, but you're still like best friends with them, and then they FaceTime you?
Just like text me and be like, hey, what are you doing right now? Or like, you
Yeah,
free?
I feel like I'm still a little shy about FaceTiming my high school friends, like
'Cause they're-
because it's not a routine thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you consider them your best friends though?
Yeah, I would say like one of my
Oh.
best friends, but like I think FaceTiming, I feel more comfortable with my day-to-day stuff because I know what I'm getting into. If my friend FaceTimes me, it's because, oh, maybe they're playing my favorite song at a thing, or like he wants to show me something real quick, maybe, but I don't know. If it needs to be a routinely person who I FaceTime with often where I'm answering.
Yeah.
If we don't FaceTime often, I get a little shy and nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of.
it's a little intimidating.
There are times where I'm like, I don't feel like being on the.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just call. I feel like sometimes Joe will like FaceTime and I'll like
all the time.
end it.
Joe
and
is
Joe will
all
call-
the time.
And I'll end it and I'll phone call him because I'm like, I don't want to like be on FaceTime right now.
Yeah.
don't
Joe
know
does
what it is.
FaceTime a lot, but it doesn't like bother me. I'm just like, you just can't expect me to answer a FaceTime. Don't get mad.
We FaceTime. That's like the only we FaceTime more than we talk.
Not us.
Yeah,
I'm
not
saying
you.
someone like Joe,
Sorry.
who would like FaceTime me, but Joe doesn't get mad. But like I will get a FaceTime from someone, and then I haven't talked to them in 3 weeks, and then they text me WTF, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's weird.
I don't have to answer a FaceTime at 2:30 on a Wednesday. Like we have we're working, we're doing stuff.
Well, that's a weird way to behave.
Yeah.
Unwritten rule that has to do with phones. I feel like I don't like when people text and just say, hey.
I have
or
that on my
hi.
list.
Yeah, just like, okay, but like say hi and then also say what you want to ask. Like, I
Yes.
don't want to like respond and be like, hey, like just say it.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
like
I
that.
had like
Yes.
a full freak out about this when we were in Joshua Tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like, what do you want me to say back?
Hi. I always just say hi back and then I'm like,
Yeah.
They just want to make sure that you're there so that you can like engage immediately.
Sorry, but if it's Joe and he says hi, I go, what do you need, sir?
Right.
What do you like?
Because he needs something.
Yeah.
Well, like, or he just wants to chat about like YouTube or something. I love
Okay,
Joe.
what about this like etiquette? And sometimes like I pick up on it with some people and then I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to be better about that. If it's like a close friend but a distant friend who maybe you're not like chatting with and texting with all the time, but if you think of something and you just want to text them that question and they respond, like I text them just the question, hey, I just go, what's that great hot pot restaurant you were talking about a couple weeks ago? And they're like, oh my God, hi. The hot pot restaurant is this. I'm like, should I have started with hey in the beginning of
I
my
see.
text it rather than just being like, texting them the question?
I don't think you
Because
need
then
to.
it seems like they're kind of correcting me on the formality
No, I
of just
think-
being like, oh my gosh, hi.
I think that's just how they
I
text.
think
probably.
you're overthinking it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
I think
I don't have to be
I know
like,
exactly
hey,
what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
giving them this like
No.
hello
People are
salute
excited to
and
hear
then
from
the-
you
Yes.
and they want to connect with you, so they
Yeah.
are just trying to continue that. You're just trying to get a piece of information and not have a whole conversation. And it's like, oh, we should go together when we're in town. I'm coming to town. Should we? How you been? Like, no, you're not looking for all
Okay.
that. You don't
I'm
need
just
to
getting
give all
straight
that.
to the point.
Yeah, I'm with
okay.
you.
All right.
I don't think they're saying it to be like
Like,
sassy with you.
Yeah,
I think
they're
they're
not-
just like, oh my God, hi. Like I will say that to people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
feel like they're like, let's greet and then I'll answer your question.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess if it was like a parent, like, no hello.
Okay.
I had a really scary email with one of my college professors. So it was actually so strange. I went to a community college for a couple years, and my instructor, he was my math, I think it was biology or something, but he lived in Texas, but he would fly 2 times a week to Omaha to teach at this community college. I don't really understand.
That's like people are doing that now with
Yeah.
their jobs
Because
and
it's
stuff.
cheaper than
Yeah.
But
cost of living.
something with my assignment like wasn't working, and so I emailed him and I was like, "Hey, I'm not really sure how to submit this. Like the form isn't working, whatever." And he replied, and I was so like, he goes, "First of all, I am not hey, I am
remember you telling me this.
Mr." And I was like, I was so scared the rest of the semester. I was
Yeah.
like, "Don't look at me, please, in the eyes. Like I can't."
That is.
I have it still.
First of all, I'm not hey.
First
to be
of
fair,
all,
I get it.
Yeah, why would you ever
I
address
get
He
it.
earned his degree, Carly.
I get it, but like,
Yeah.
god damn.
I would be horrified to like receive that back.
Oh, I
'Cause,
wouldn't
and
give
I
a-
get why you would just be like, we're
yeah,
kids.
yeah. I was
Like-
like, well, I was like 23. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're young.
I probably have the
Formalities, but
email. I want to like.
First of all,
understand.
I'm not hey though. Like,
It's kind of sassy.
it's very
I know.
sassy, and also like, okay,
I would
bro.
prefer to be
She's not a
called
girl.
Mr.
She's
What?
Miss Toller. Miss who?
What?
Judge Toller.
No, I was like, I was saying maybe if he was like, just for future reference, please call me Mr. or Doctor or whatever.
Do
And
you
I'd
guys,
be like, okay,
do
sounds
your guys'
good.
parents ever like text you or call you? And they'll say like, "Hey, can you talk?"
Yeah.
And then you call them and they don't answer.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Wait,
They're boomers.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing trends about it now on TikTok too, and I'm realizing it's not just me.
Yeah.
We're like,
and they all got the ringers on.
I saw one
I
TikTok
know you
that
hear
was
it.
like boomer parents after they say, "Hey, can you talk?" and it's just a bunch of people just throwing their phones like out of a train, throwing it in the water, like.
And it's
like,
almost it's like the scariest thing. It's like, can you talk? Dot dot dot.
You're
It's
like, yeah. Are you free right now? And you're like, yes. And then you call and they just don't answer.
Yeah,
and you're
I'm
like,
like-
what's going on? I don't know.
So true.
I don't get it. Can I go ahead?
This person said to clean up the table a little bit for your server when you're eating out.
Oh, of course.
I know I always do that, but then I feel like I see people online that are like, don't do that.
Yeah, I have seen conflicting.
Well, it
'Cause
depends
some-
on the establishment.
Well, sure. If you're eating at like a 5-star restaurant, they clean it between like every course and you don't really have to think about it. But sometimes when I like stack plates and then like put forks on, they'll then take it and then do it a different way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have
Oh.
fucking touched it.
I
Damn.
agree. I think
But I think they know the intention that is there, so that's good.
Yeah.
I have a big one about tipping, but I don't want to get into that.
I would like to hear.
Yeah,
I
Mike
would
doesn't
like
tip.
to-
What?
Yeah, Mike doesn't believe in tipping,
That is
guys.
completely false. I am a very generous tipper. In fact, I always tip generously to beat the stereotype.
Yeah.
Go
We
fuck
give
yourself.
so much. Yeah.
When you get the iPad flip around,
Oh, okay.
if you,
What are we at? Where are we at?
I'll give you the scenario.
'Kay.
If there is not a service being performed other than giving you what you ordered,
Like you're getting a coffee or
if they're
something.
handing you something,
Yeah.
do you tip?
I
Yes.
don't know still.
Depends.
I do.
I don't know if you're supposed to, but I do.
I
It
do, but
depends
yeah.
on the occasion, and if this is like a pop-up event, it looks like they are so busy,
A Walgreens.
and there are tons of people, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're sweating and
Walgreens
busting.
Like a
Does
wall,
you
like a
tip?
Walgreens.
No,
Walgreens.
fuck
They
no.
did not ask you to tip
I'm just
there.
saying, it's
If
only
it-
a matter
he's
of
saying,
time
like,
till.
if it
No,
was-
of course.
Oh, I'll
do
tell you
not
this:
tip
my
at
smoothie place. If I'm buying a smoothie at Equinox,
There you go.
they do that.
Yep.
Thing is, though, I go to this smoothie place pretty damn often, and then I'll sit there and when I wait for my smoothie, I watch and see how many people tip. I've noticed that like 8 out of the 10 people are not tipping on it. I'll do it though on like maybe the Friday and just be like, you know what? Here's the day. Once a week, I'll do the tip. But as a
I think
regular
that's
thing,
fair if you're like
where-
always getting them.
right,
But do you
where
make
it's like
it a big
I'm
tip
still, or if I get
to
it for
make up for all the other smoothies you got, or is it just like
No, I mean it's the
just like a
standard
regular tip.
20%, and I am tip. This is the one time where I'm talking about the iPad situation.
iPad is the one
where
I'm
I'm
talking
not
about.
doing it routinely. I will tip
Yeah.
every time I get DoorDash,
But they're-
Uber Eats, everything.
Yeah, though, and when you go to a
Anytime-
restaurant, 20-25%, sure. I'm talking about the iPad. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. When they flip that iPad around,
I'm just like, oh
they
god.
do it every like I got a coffee this morning and they do the iPad. I'm not gonna not tip them.
But do you
I think that's insane.
But I also think the 20% is like kind of ridiculous. Where I think it's like
don't
the
think
same
you-
way at a bar. Like okay, so for a drink, mixed drink at a cocktail is what, a $3 tip, and a beer
Beer
is
is
$1.
$1, yeah.
So for a smoothie, is the smoothie
20%
I
on
don't
an
think
$8.
you need to tip 20%. I think you can just like leave a couple bucks.
right?
So are you doing the custom one? Because sometimes now they'll start it at like 25, 30, 50%.
My
And I'm like, are you
God.
fucking kidding me?
No, I always do 20%. But I also feel like I'm in a place where I can do that, so I just like to.
You know,
Sure.
tenants of the trees or tenants at the trees, they include the tip in the drinks too,
Ooh.
they would do that.
which is like they do like 18%. And I told a buddy about that recently. I'm like, you know, the tip's included, and he's like, what? So that
Well-
means he's been paying nearly 40% more on his drinks for like an entire
There's also
year.
restaurants in LA that do a service
Yeah.
charge now. It's like 18 to 20% service charge. That's
and
not
Vinny's.
a tip. John and Vinny's,
They do
Marvin.
18%.
Although I think that there's like a law trying to be passed right now that you can't do that anymore.
It is just so confusing to me, and it makes me feel really bad because I remember at John and Vinny's one time there was a server, and I was like, "Is this like your tip?" And he was like, "No, but like don't feel like you have to." And I'm like, "Well, no, now I definitely feel like I have
Right,
to.
right.
This is crazy."
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like a 4% one is normally because it's like we're gonna pay for their health insurance with this, and I'm like, that's your responsibility.
Right. I think it's a little, I don't know.
The charities piss me off though.
Oh, I don't do that because I was
that's a
told.
tax write-off.
Yes.
That's a tax write-off for the big company. I'm like, you're CVS. You guys are making hundreds of millions
Yeah.
of fucking dollars, and you don't want to donate to Red Cross? I do, because you want my donation so you don't have to pay the taxes on it.
Yep.
Get all respect though to the kids of the Red Cross. Like, please do go donate. Donate it personally. Make it your own tax write-off.
Yeah.
Do not give your own money to CVS for you to write that stuff off.
Right, 'cause
That
they
is
write it off and you
ridiculous.
can't. I always
Shame
do,
on
like,
you,
GoFundMes.
CVS.
You do
For,
what?
like at Petco, it always gets me because they're
I
like,
know.
donate to the animals.
I
like,
know.
Well, I know this isn't legit.
Yeah.
But
then,
what
like,
if it is?
But then it like comes back around. Like literally a couple weeks ago, someone posted a GoFundMe for like a dog that needed surgery, and I was like, "Here's some money."
Yeah.
And like then it makes me feel like the balance.
Those are a lot better and more personal, because then it's like,
Yes.
what is this random, like, where's
I've just
money
been
going?
told that it's like kind of fraudulent.
Yeah, I think a lot of them happen in the past, especially when we were kids. They'd always do those like commercials. Like,
But remember when you could donate and then you could write your name on something and then they would stick it on the wall?
I think they still have that at some places.
Really?
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I haven't seen it
Yeah.
in so long. It was always at like
Chili's?
no, like
Where
at,
you,
at
where
your
you
Rite
draw the
Aid.
pepper for $5 and it goes to the Red Cross.
Oh, I
Chili's
don't
does that
know. I'm
too?
thinking just like the
Like,
Rite
yeah.
Aid.
oh,
Yeah.
And I was like, I would like my name up there. That's how they get you.
yeah.
But also, I don't know. I also don't want to seem like it. Like, don't donate to those charities.
But I think that there's some truth to it, because I feel like a lot of them are probably a little sketch.
It's the point of purchase. Like, do you want to give your last 20 cents to
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
No, because I just don't want
I'll
it.
always round up though. If it's like, you want to round, I'm like, sure.
No, you're giving away money
Yeah,
that you
Carly,
could save on taxes, and they're not taxing it.
Yeah,
It's a scam.
it is.
Oh yeah, I don't do the roundup.
But
not
like,
there. I'm not there for
I
that.
don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here.
I
but
also have. Oh, this one was on my list. Stop haggling for lower prices on goods or. Oh, sorry. I thought we were running out of time. My bad.
I just had
Finish
to
it.
finish
No,
the thought.
finish the thought.
the
I'm so
thought
sorry.
is if they're not cleaning up after me, I'm not tipping. So like at a Starbucks, if I order the coffee, I am paying for the coffee. The service is you make the coffee. That's what I'm getting. If I go to a smoothie place, give me a smoothie. But if we go to Home State, I know that Home State cleans up after you. Like
Yeah.
you go and sit, or if you're being served, if someone comes
If there's
to
like
your,
a waiter, it's like, you got
a
it.
waiter for sure, no question. But I'm talking about these like Chipotle. If you're getting a burrito made, are you going to tip 20% on a burrito?
Chipotle should be paying their employees enough.
I guess, Aaron, fine. That's within your right. I just
Does
think it's,
Chipotle take tips?
my point is like an example.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do,
so.
but like the places similar to that will always flip the iPad around.
For me though, I'm like they're still scooping my food.
But that's what
doing-
you're paying for.
What?
Yeah, like they're already getting
That
paid.
is what their payment
The
is.
servers are
I
paid so
know.
shit, and the tips make up for it, and that's why it's so good to tip servers.
I know, but
But
I
like
feel like
in-
anyone in the service industry, I'm just like,
No, I
could
get
never
it.
do
I
it.
get it.
feel the
Hats off
same
to
way.
you.
I get
Oh,
it.
Patricia,
Take
we
my
tip
money.
25% like in our house because I mean her whole family's the restaurant industry, so like
Oh,
she
yeah,
is
yeah.
Yeah.
she will give the tips so big where I'm like we need to talk.
There's gonna be an article
also
written.
read
yes,
I've
Where I'm
read like people
we should
on-
be filming the reaction. That's how fucking big
like
she
people on
tips.
Reddit, I've like read like Starbucks like employees, do you want us to tip 20% when we get a coffee every time? And they're like, we know that it's super awkward. We're not really expecting it. Like when we turn the iPad around, it really doesn't matter to us because like it's nice if you do, but we're not expecting everyone to do it.
I will say I always like mobile order Starbucks.
Interesting.
So I don't know if I ever do that
Interesting.
there, which is probably
Because you're going to
not
pick it
good.
up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're
because
still
you had
making
to
it
do
for
a bit
me.
of the journey.
But it's weird because nothing comes up that's like leave
Tip?
a tip.
Yeah.
So I just think I never think about it.
Yeah.
How dare
That
you?
does make me feel really bad. Actually.
Oh my god!
When they just that it's going to ask you a question.
But like,
But it's
imagine going through the
interesting.
drive-thru.
I was
They don't ask for
just gonna
tips.
say that, Carly.
Yeah.
I was
What?
literally just gonna
Yeah.
say that.
When you go to the
Well,
drive-thru?
To be fair, sometimes they'll leave like a little thing out.
That's
I remember
true.
like Dunkin' Donuts, and
But
I
that's
just
like
throw,
old,
like your
like
change.
pre-COVID.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the point is, I like 99% of the time when they flip the iPad around,
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I just like I feel like in culture we don't address that this is fucking insane.
I think
that
I-
it's literally
yes.
everywhere.
No, it's
everywhere.
addressed. There's a lot of funny TikToks
Oh,
about it.
people talk about this. Okay.
So many funny.
It'll be like,
TikToks.
I'll open the door for you, and then you're like, thanks, and then
And
you
then
turn
it's
around
the
and I hold.
iPad.
Yeah.
Or, like I can imagine like at a funeral home, like okay, the services have
literally.
ended.
I'm
thank
not
you for buying
tipping
a
there. Like,
coffin,
someone
and then-
died.
I
Stop.
guarantee they probably have.
Just gonna
like,
ask you a
thing
few
for that.
questions.
Yeah.
Just gonna ask you a few
Yeah.
more questions. You don't have to do it. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was that?
Okay, so we're gonna do the embalming. We're gonna do a coffin. Yep. Okay, here's your total, and it's gonna ask you. No,
Yeah.
no. But that's where we're heading.
So
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Sorry,
I
that was
don't
my
know, I
last
just-
point. I still do it.
Can we end on like a really controversial one?
Ooh,
Oh,
please.
That I
Sure.
forgot about when we were talking about airplanes.
Yeah.
But someone said it's an unwritten rule to not recline your seat on an airplane.
Disagree.
Ooh, I feel
Wait,
guilty
it's-
doing it, even though I know I'm able
Hold
to.
on. It's an unwritten rule to not.
Basically, the rule
Like,
should be
don't
never recline.
Yeah, don't recline your seat on an
If you
airplane.
recline, you're an asshole.
piss off.
This is like a hot topic.
It's a lot of people disagree. Like, just because it reclines doesn't mean you should do it.
They made it that way.
I know.
I know that I agree with you, but how annoying is it when you have your tray out with like food and drinks and someone's like, "Brr,"
Then
and
I
you're like,
do mine.
Well, I understand
but it
that
could
if somebody
spill.
does it to me, I do it
Yeah.
behind me.
The etiquette should be just do it gently and maybe
Yeah.
check behind you. I always look behind. I usually wait till the guy behind me is sleeping and then I do it.
Oh,
so that
yeah,
way
I
they
check. But
I
I
feel
thought,
like-
there are people that are just
do you
violent
look?
about it and they just
Yes.
like will
The
not-
second that the bell dings when we're in the air, they're like, "Zoop."
if they're too violent, like sometimes I'll be sleeping like on the tray and then it hits my
Oh.
head and I like get a concussed on my flight and I'm already up there with the thin air.
Yeah.
Just do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gently, but you can for sure recline. Just do it gently.
okay, yeah, do it gently.
I feel
That's
like
my
I
thing.
The idea
kind
of
of do it
not-
like halfway. But then if the person in front of me is reclining, then I'm like, well, now I have to.
Does it even stop halfway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop
you don't
it
need to
wherever
go
you
full.
yeah, then you can like.
Oh,
do
I
it
thought
how-
it's like option
All or
1,
nothing?
option 2.
No,
maybe
no,
it depends
it's-
on the plane. I don't know.
No, I think you can.
It can go back just like a
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's normally what I do.
You know what? Every plane seat should be a lay down seat.
Yeah,
Every
right.
single
Just
seat.
bunk beds.
private
Like-
a PJ.
Literally, like I would fly. I would not care about flying ever.
Yeah.
To lay down. It's
I
like
do
being
think
at
it's
home.
like silly though. If, like to me, I'm like I like being conscious of that, but it is like silly for people to get mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
Do it.
reclining. Like everyone should do it. It should just be a domino effect. Once the first guy starts, we're all okay. It's
then
time to recline.
But then it's a person that's like at the back who can't recline.
well, should
you're
have
like-
booked your flight earlier.
This person texted you. This person messaged you saying, how did they phrase it again?
Just say
There's a-
no reclining on planes. This is like a
Crazy.
hot topic.
There
And
are
this is an unwritten rule of something that you can do.
No, it's like an unwritten rule. Don't do that.
yeah. Don't do that. Don't
Like,
recline
they're
your
saying
seat
you
on an
shouldn't.
airplane.
Like
That's
the rule should be you shouldn't recline. Is what
Because
they're
it's
saying.
rude.
I know. I just wish I was friends with this person and just being on a flight doing it, going, whoa, 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 what do you think you're doing? Are you relaxing right now? I'm sorry.
No, this person wouldn't recline.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
being
that-
next to them and them going like,
Oh, them going.
dude, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, I'm pressing the button, I'm clicking recline. Like the seat is meant for.
Yeah.
And telling them like,
Yeah.
don't do it.
There's a hack
That's-
I do
think
every
that's
time I get on
little-
a flight. I usually get the aisle seat. You know how like in the middle they can lift up, but the aisle one can't.
Yes. Wait, isn't there a way you
It
can
can.
do it? Yeah.
There's a little button on like where your elbow would be.
Yeah.
100% of my flights now, when I get in, before I step in, I press it up and then I wait till everyone's in the aisle, and it's like a first class seat
So
now.
nice.
It's so much easier to get in
Flight
and out.
attendant will still come by though.
No,
and-
no. I'm saying
you're
like
leaving.
Oh.
once we're about to do takeoff,
Yeah.
I'll put it down, and then when the ding goes up, I push it up, and like I don't know why it's not on the front like the rest of them. I don't
Yeah.
get it
I just wish they would do it for the window seat.
that the aisle can't go up. The
I
arm
know
can't
that the
go up.
aisle. I've always known about the aisle one.
Yeah, I always
for
do
that
it.
one. But the window one, just because you can like really rest up against that window
Yeah, but then
without having
your
that,
ribs get crushed.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And then also someone said middle seat gets the armrests.
I think that's kind of fair.
Me
you have a
too.
shitty position.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Cool.
But I will never take both if I'm in the middle, which I I booked my flight to Omaha so late. Like all my flights are middle seats. Oh. So I'll be
Have you guys used the inflatable like pillow at all?
no, and I'm like too embarrassed to try it.
Oh,
I think.
I love it.
Yeah?
It's so great. It's like
I have it. I can bring it next time.
Does it hurt your neck?
No, it's
no,
amazing.
and then I'll put my face into it and I put my phone in
Oh,
it so
yeah,
no one
yeah.
can like, and I'll just like watch a movie and then like I'll like
Fall
pass
asleep.
out and just like
That's
I feel
Is it
s-
comfy?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Very comfy. I definitely get more longer like spurts of sleep.
Huh.
You sleeping.
I just
with
like
that
can't
thing.
sleep on a plane.
Yeah.
But maybe that would help. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I've never
No,
been
You
in
know
a-
what would
helps
help?
me.
Lay down seat.
Every seat a lay down seat.
Yeah.
Actually, I had no idea what you were talking about. the arm.
Do you still not know, or you get it now?
I still don't know. I think I like was confused.
When you're sitting
I'm
in an aisle seat,
The armrest.
the armrest
Yes.
doesn't go up. You know
Right.
the middle ones go up.
Yes.
It does go up.
Oh.
The button
the
is just not where it is
hidden.
for the other ones. It's like underneath,
Got
like
it.
where your elbow would be. You have to, it's like
Bit of a
Saw that on
hack.
TikTok.
it's like a little notch, and you have to
Think-
push it and then lift it up. But it just makes that whole process a billion
I
times
saw that
easier.
on the Discovery Channel in like 2004.
Really?
So I've like known about that for a long time. I felt like a freaking spy kid. When, like, I thought I knew that hack about that little button.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Now
I thought you were talking
everyone
about the TVs that come up. I was like, what?
Oh no,
That is the worst.
Those are the worst.
What,
When
the
when you
T-
have the,
The TVs
TV
that
that's
come
like
out of
in the
the-
armrest, when it's like on the swivel and it's like shaking the whole time.
And then you're like watching a movie, but you're descending, and they're like, you got to put it away.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it.
It kind of
Yeah.
feels like you're in a hospital. Like it feels
It's-
like it feels very medical,
worst
that
thing.
TV thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember like TVs how they used to be just like above and everyone would
Would
have
watch
to
it.
Yeah,
watch
I mean, I
the
don't remember,
same
but
one?
I remember like knowing about it.
Yeah, seeing it in photos.
You're like Mad Men. They just smoke on the planes too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ugh,
that thing could just go down.
that's disgusting.
Do you remember the first movie you ever saw on an airplane was?
On an airplane.
No.
It was, for me, it was Runaway Bride and Bowfinger.
The James Bond movie?
No, Bowfinger with Eddie
that a
Murphy
funny
and
movie?
Steve
Oh,
Martin.
I think my
It's a
Goldfinger.
terrible movie.
Goldfinger.
Do you know, someone told me something interesting about Goldfinger. In London, there is like a huge, disgusting building. Do you know this building in London? It's like
You know, the big disgusting
no, there's
one.
there's like a building that got made that's like really fucking ugly, and there is it's like a bridge in the top of the building in between. It's like a dark building, and there's like a walkway that they built in
The
between.
walkway.
That's visible from the outside. You see the walkway.
Kind of. It's just like a connection, and everyone in London like thought it was an abomination.
Oh.
And the man who wrote James Bond was living in London.
Ian Fleming.
Yes, and he named the bad guy Goldfinger because the architect of that building, his last name was Goldfinger.
Oh.
I thought that Goldfinger was the Austin Powers. Oh, Gold
Member.
member.
And it's based on James Bond.
A gold
Does
member.
it
Anyway.
look like this? The
Movie
walkway?
that-
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow us everywhere and email us and hit us up on Instagram for
Yeah, follow our
future
Instagram
episodes.
because we do ask you guys to write in a lot. So, what is it? Good Influences Podcast on Instagram?
Yes.
Or pod?
One of them. They'll find
You'll
it.
find it. You'll find it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you
All right.
guys. Thank you.
See you
Toodles.
later.
Bye.